From scary crocs and hippos to bizarre aliens and mutants, here are 25 of the most terrifying animal mouths. Welcome to Weird Wonders Wednesday. Hey Cooper, we get a lot of comments like yours, especially with the Scary Saturday episodes, but you know, that's part of what keeps life so interesting, right? Well, be sure and check out the mouths on these critters and let us know what you think. Cheers! Number 25. Naked mole rat. These burrowing rodents have some large protruding teeth that are on the outside of the mouths. The lips are sealed just behind the choppers, which allows the critter to dig with its teeth without having soil filling up the mouths while doing so. Penguins. Now, if you didn't think the animal in the picture was a penguin, you're not alone. We usually think of these birds as being cute and quirky. Well, that's until you see the insides of the mouths. When they're wide open, the mouths look more like something you'd expect to see in a Star Wars movie. A lot of people have likened the penguin's mouth to that of the Sarlacc beast in Return of the Jedi, otherwise known as Episode 6. The strange spikes in the mouths enable penguins to eat the prey, usually fish, alive and whole, and ensures they don't manage to wriggle back up the esophagus. PACU fish. These omnivorous South American freshwater fish are related to the piranha, but you could not tell that by the teeth. Piranha are known for the sharp, pointed teeth, while PACU have teeth that are straighter, square-shaped, and disturbingly similar to that of humans. Humpback whale. The marine mammals can measure more than 50 feet long and weigh around 40 tons, so you'd figure they have to eat a lot to survive. Now this picture almost looks like it could be a canoe that has overturned and is bobbing up and down in the water, but it's really the mouth of a humpback whale. The large mouths are adapted to devour thousands of fish in a single gulp. Plated grooves in the whale's mouth allow the water to drain and filter out the prey. Sea urchins. Now here's a picture that appears like it could be anything from an alien landscape to some sort of digital art. Now it really shows the mouth of a sea urchin, and that mouth is located in the middle of the underside of its body. It's able to feed with 5 plates that resemble teeth. Now did you know they're also called Aristotle's lantern because they resemble the lamps used in the philosopher's time? Hagfish. Now this is another one of those pictures you'd swear must show the work of a special effects wizard. Now this could just as easily be an alien species as it could be some sort of huge mutant insect, but you'll find the hagfish in the oceans of Earth. Their unusual mouths are comprised of 2 pair of comb-shaped spiky teeth attached to a cartilaginous plate. The plate can extend outward, allowing the teeth to grab food, then retract to the pharynx. Gaboon viper. Now, this species of viper is found in the rainforests of sub-Saharan Africa, and it has the highest yield of venom of any snake. It also has the longest fangs of any snake, reaching over 2 inches long. Now, those scary choppers fold back into the roof of its mouth, but they'll quickly snap into position when it's time to bring down prey. Basking shark. A rule of thumb for any animal could be big body, big mouth. In the case of this beast, it's a case of bigger mouth. Its mouth is anatomically adapted for filter feeding and contains gill rakers used to filter out plankton from the water. Experts say the great gobs can filter some 500 tons of water per hour. Lamprey. This jawless fish is similar to an eel and is often described as a giant leech. Lampreys use the circular rows of teeth to hold onto prey and then suck whatever amount of blood from it they can. They can weigh more than 10 pounds and range in length from 5 up to 40 inches. Hyena. It's also known as the laughing hyena, and it looks a little bit like the animal kingdom's version of the Joker. They get the laughing label because their giggling vocalizations are reminiscent of human laughter. Now here are some serious stats though. They kill 95% of what they eat, which kind of discredits their reputation as scavengers. And while we said it might be laughing, is it laughing with you or at you? Mouth brooders. Now, some animals care for the young by the parents containing them in the mouth for a certain period of time. Now, fish tend to be the most diverse among mouth brooders, and you can see an example in the picture. A male jawfish is doing his paternal duty by protecting a mouthful of his offspring until they hatch. Megamouth shark. Now, we couldn't very well have a list like this without including this creature. Very few megamouth sharks have been observed since they were first discovered in the mid-1970s. They are distinctive for the huge heads and large rubbery lips. They prey on mass quantities of small fish or plankton, which are lured by luminous photophores which flank the animal's mouth. Brown grizzly bear. Now, as scary as those fangs can be, especially if you're trespassing in the territory, these big beasts are pretty adept at using their mouths to catch salmon leaping from the water. If they can't catch the fish that way, they'll chase the fish and pin them with the claws. Anglerfish. They get that name due to a fleshy growth that sprouts from the head and works like a lure. The scary-looking fish have disproportionately huge heads with enormous mouths filled with long fangs that are angled inward so they can better grab onto the prey. Saltwater crocodile. Now, here's a sight to strike some fear into your heart along with the rest of your body. These reptiles can weigh more than 2,500 pounds, and just the head of a larger specimen can weigh more than 400 pounds. That noggin has a mouth filled with teeth that can measure some 3.5 inches long. Thanks to the strong jaw muscles, these critters are said to have among the most powerful bite force recorded in any animal. Cookiecutter shark. It's also called a cigar shark due to its small size, usually reaching only around 56 centimeters long. But relative to its size, it has the largest teeth of any shark species. Resembling a bandsaw, those choppers can gouge out round plugs of flesh from its victims, and those wounds appear as if they were inflicted by a cookie cutter. Squid mouth. Now, here is a small, deep-water creature that might induce a giant-sized nightmare. But what appears to resemble a human mouth with teeth is really just an optical illusion. Experts say the animal's teeth are really its lips, and they shield a beak that the squid uses to eat. Leatherback sea turtle. The largest of all living turtles has a mouth that resembles a bottomless fleshy pit, or maybe some sort of organic cave with deadly stalagmites and stalactites poking up from below and down from above. Either way, it's no place you would want to visit. Their esophagus is filled with those sharp spines that point backwards, and they extend all the way to the belly. The spines help protect the turtle's mouth and throat from the stings of jellyfish. Payara. These fish can grow more than 4 feet long and are found in the Amazon. Their fangs can reach up to 4 inches long, and they use them to impale the vital organs of the prey. This saber-toothed creature is often referred to as the vampire fish. You can likely see why. Gharial. Now, you could say this critter has a big mouth, but it would be more accurate to say it has a long mouth, and one that is filled with over 100 sharp teeth. The signature long, thin snouts are thought to be an adaptation to the diet, which is primarily fish. Sharks. While we mentioned the cookie-cutter shark a few segments back, these particular fearsome creatures in the picture are more familiar to us. But you don't want to be too familiar with those big mouths filled with scary choppers. Sharks can have, on average, 15 rows of teeth, but the great white has around 24 teeth exposed along the top and bottom jaws. Hippos. Now, this almost looks like you're on some sort of ride at the amusement park, or maybe taking a roller coaster ride straight into the pit of hell. But it's really the scary looking mouth of a hippo. Now, chances are, if you do take a ride down that critter's throat, it will definitely be a one-way trip. The aggressive animals are also known for having the largest canines of any land animal. Those 2 sword-like teeth can reach 16 inches long. Goose mouth. Now this would be all too easy to believe it was the creation of a warped mind playing around with Photoshop. After all, who could take a cute goose and make it look as if it had been possessed by the alien xenomorph? But the picture has not been manipulated. Geese really do have tongues with serrated teeth, even if it looks more like a bizarre tentacle coming out of its mouth. But who knew these birds had such foul mouths? Sarcastic fringehead. Now this bizarre creature almost looks like it could be a hybrid of the Alien and Predator and those Reaper vampires from the Blade movies. But they're really fish that are known to be highly territorial and aggressive. When threatened, they'll expand the huge mouth and start flexing and snapping the jaws at an aggressor. Scale worm. Now a lot of deep-sea creatures can appear like aliens, and here's one that is certainly no exception. It could easily be an alien life form, or maybe some type of supernatural beast from a Stephen King book. Our number one terrifying animal mouth belongs to the smallest creature on the list. These polychaete worms are found in the deep oceans, often near hydrothermal vents. They're covered with scales and are known to be active predators.